Coming to you straight from Fremont, California, this is the Fremont Podcast, dedicated to telling the stories of the past and present of the people and places of the city of Fremont, one conversation at a time. Now, here's your host, Ricky B.
Hello, Fremont. You're listening to episode number 33 of the Fremont Podcast. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you join me each week, so thank you for listening to each episode, and thank you for those of you who shared the episode with people who you know would be interested in hearing about the podcast. This week, I have with me a couple of girls that have grown up here in the city of Fremont. They've been involved in community events, they've been a part of the local camps that have been offered, and they're a part of the local performing arts scene. And it was within that community, that experience of the performing arts, that they met each other and decided that they were going to form their own band. So they came together and became a musical duo that have performed here in Fremont and all throughout the Bay Area. It's exciting to see these sorts of things happen right here in our community. But before we hear from them, here is a word from our sponsor, Petrocelli Homes.
Gary Williams here. Some friends of mine are making a difference in the community, and one of the ways they're doing that is helping to sponsor this podcast. Petrocelli Homes Realty Group is a boutique brokerage service located in downtown Niles. John and Jennifer Petrocelli have had the honor of helping countless buyers and sellers make effective real estate decisions to plant their roots, raise their families, expand their wealth, or simply relax and retire. So if what I've described is what you might be looking for in a realtor, I suggest getting in touch with Petrocelli Homes on Niles Boulevard in downtown Niles.
If you find yourself trying to buy or sell a home right now in the middle of this crazy housing market, then I suggest that you reach out to Petrocelli Homes so that they can help you navigate your way through the process. Well, in this conversation today, I have two girls that grew up here in Fremont. They came together, formed their own band, and they have been sharing their music with people and places here in Fremont and around the Bay Area. So here is my conversation with Audio Blonde. Well, I'm excited to have a musical group from Fremont with me called Audio Blonde, and I was given their name and their information from a friend who actually was previously on the podcast, and he passed along the information, and so I'm excited to have our own Fremont native musical duo, the band Audio Blonde, and so I have with me Buffy, and I have Ellie with me, and thank you guys for being on the podcast.
Yeah. Of course.
Thanks for having us.
Well, so let's get to know you guys a little bit. You guys are from Fremont?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a particular part of Fremont that you grew up in, or where did you guys grow up? Buffy, where did you grow up?
So I went to Kennedy High School,
Okay.
So I grew up around there,
Okay.
Irvington, Kennedy area.
All right. And then Ellie?
I went to American high school for half of my high school career, so I grew up around there.
In the Centerville area?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you say half? Where else did you go?
I went to Coyle Charter School.
Okay.
So I left the public school system.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I graduated a year early, so
Wow, look at you.
kind of halfway.
So you guys are in high school, or you're out of high school? Where are you at in your career, your educational career right now?
We're in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buffy's currently at Sonoma State University.
Yeah,
Nice.
I just finished my freshman year at Sonoma, so
Okay.
I'm going into my second year.
Nice.
And I just finished my sophomore year at Ohlone College, but I transferred to UC Davis, so I'll
Okay.
be attending there in the fall.
That's excellent. Very good. Well, I'm excited to have you guys on here because I'm always excited to have Fremont natives that are on the show. But you guys are musicians, and I love music. You guys are kind of owning it right now, so that's kind of cool. Before we get into your musical, all the things you're doing musically, I want to hear a little bit about Fremont. Like growing up in Fremont, what was it like? Is there anything specific that when you look around, even Fremont the way it is now, or when you look back at your life, what are some of the memories that you have of Fremont?
Yeah, so some of the memories I have are specifically the Fremont City summer camps. I did a lot of summer camps and classes, specifically like speech classes and sports camps. I think that really, I guess, honed in on like who I am. I am super competitive, so the sports camps were, awesome for me. And I did a lot of public speaking growing up, so like speech meet competitions for my
So I picked the right person to be on the podcast with me, a public speaker.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. So, I didn't go to public school growing up. We both went to private schools, different private
ones.
schools.
Yeah.
But, I think that Fremont has a lot of cool, like, camps and after-school extracurricular things and activities open for kids.
Okay. So you're here because I found you as a musician, but what sports do you like or what do you play?
Yeah, I love volleyball. I'm
Nice.
not very good, but I still enjoy it.
It's a
very
great
fun.
sport.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that?
She's very humble. She's good.
So volleyball, you said?
Yeah.
Great.
I play volleyball.
That's awesome. Very good. And Ellie, what about you?
Sports is not in my vocabulary, unfortunately.
So you guys did not meet on the sports field.
No. Although I did do a sports camp one time too. I mean, the summer camps and after school activities that Buffy mentioned are exactly what I grew up doing as well.
Okay.
But I did a lot of like summer musical theater camps. I did a lot of shows. Other than that was maybe like some dance classes, but never sports.
Okay.
I couldn't do that.
Okay. Well, so the camps made a big difference in your guys' lives. Is there anything more, maybe not necessarily entertainment, but more just like leisure that you've enjoyed growing up in Fremont, like a favorite, park or ice cream shop or something like that you've enjoyed going to?
I have a few memories of when Buffy and I first became friends and we started rehearsing. We would go to Baskin Robbins a lot.
All the time.
All the time.
Wow.
So I very vividly remember that.
Okay. So let's identify that moment in time. When did you guys meet? Like so you guys did all these camps, but you didn't really know each other when you were younger. So when did you meet and what was that like?
I think if we want to get very technical, we met at an audition for Starstruck Theater
Okay.
that I did not get cast in, but Buffy did.
And I don't even remember her. She says we met at this audition, but I don't remember her.
I remember her because I remember seeing her name and I thought, wow, I've never met anyone named Buffy. That was for Peter
Are you a
Pan.
vampire slayer?
Shh, I'm not supposed to say anything. People can't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we met then. And then I'm pretty sure we had probably another audition that we met at, which I also didn't get cast for. So after a couple years in 7th grade,
There's a
we
couple daggers
officially...
being
Yeah, I
thrown.
know.
It was like,
wow.
2 auditions and she doesn't even remember you. It was like, who is that little person?
Exactly. But we did officially meet in 7th grade at our first show together with Starstruck Theater, which was Bye Bye Birdie Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And did you get what kind of a role did you get in that?
Buffy got the lead. I was ensemble. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to what you're in now in just a moment, so we can kind of even it up there a little bit. So you met in musical theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what did that relationship look like to you? Was it just like you guys were friends during the shows, and then you didn't really hang out outside of that, or was there more of a friendship that kind of developed from that?
Honestly, I think we started hanging out right away, if I
All the
remember
time.
correctly.
Wow.
Yeah.
At Baskin Robbins.
At
Yeah,
Baskin
exactly.
Robbins. We hung out a lot. We also did community service through Youth Service Corps in Fremont. So it's like beautification of the city.
Nice.
I did that basically every summer since like 6th grade, and I got Ellie to do it. She hated it, but
I did hate it.
I was like, it's for the city, so
Yes, for
she
the
was like,
city.
I get my service learning hours.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was really fun though.
Yeah, it was.
We got to hang out a
Nice.
lot.
That's great. So on that note, I'm just curious, you guys love music. You guys did different camps and stuff. Is there other hobbies that you just enjoy individually or that you've enjoyed together? Obviously, you didn't quite enjoy the community service, but you did it, and we're all thankful for that.
Thank you.
But is there anything that you guys enjoy just as hobbies that you do on the side?
I think we're both very like STEM-leaning people. We're both majoring in STEM subjects. We both want to go to medical school in the future.
Wow.
So I think those were some of our hobbies. I mean, songwriting, music, just that
Yeah.
basic stuff too.
Yeah.
Is music more something that you guys enjoy just for the fun of it? Like, in other words, I know they talk about different hobbies and different things that people like, that if a hobby ever turned into like the means by which you had to make money, then it would no longer be fun. So would you look at music as being more of something that you just really enjoy and you kind of do it just for the thrill of it, but you would never really want to do it as a life-saving career, or would you guys like the idea of doing it, professionally, I guess?
For me, I think music has always been a part of my life. I never really considered doing it as a career. I think it's always something that I'll want to do on the side. I mean, I hope to be a psychiatrist in the future.
Nice.
And I think like involving music in different like therapeutical approaches, or just honestly busking on the streets like for fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll definitely be doing that in the future.
That's great. Well, I think just as a side note on that, I think if you're going to be a psychiatrist and you're trying to help understand people's mental state, I think that there's something about the arts and the way that music interacts with a person's psyche that would be really helpful for you to be able to understand people as well, more than just the science. So that's really cool.
I totally agree.
Yeah, that's great. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I mean, I love music. I kind of grew up around music. My dad really loves music and got me into it. In the car we sing, and I've been surrounded by it all my life. And I want to continue, I guess, living through music, but I would not pursue it only because it's really hard.
Totally.
I would say,
yeah.
A lot of people say STEM and science is hard. I'm a biochem major, like biochemistry, and that's really tough. But with science, you study and you're smart or whatever. But when you do music, it's also about passion and connections and so much more that is out of your control. And I think it's a lot harder. And there's so many talented people out there.
Oh, yeah.
But I do really enjoy STEM. And like Ellie, I want to go to medical school and work with children, pediatrics,
Nice.
neurology, or psychiatry as well.
That's awesome. Well, very, very cool. Well, let's talk about music, since that's what got us here. You guys love music, and you've been doing it together initially through musical theater.
Yes.
So at what point did you guys get together and say, hey, let's sing some songs, or let's write some songs, or like, was there something that kind of like turned the corner for you on that made you start singing together?
I'll let Buffy answer that question because she kind of started it. Because she approached me and said that we should start a band.
Yeah, actually, I feel like I've told you this before, but the reason I approached her in the beginning, this kind of sounds weird, we were like at rehearsal, and I thought she looked just like one of my childhood best friends.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. I was just like, she looks really familiar. And then I went up to her and I was like, hi, I'm Buffy. Who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
And she's like,
Explain
I
yourself.
know, I've seen you get the part for the last 3 shows.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, we sang together. She used to do her little indie accent ukulele
my
singing. And she couldn't, never mind. But next topic. But yeah, we kind of we love to harmonize. That's
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah.
our thing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes when we're just singing a cappella, we just go to the same harmony, if that makes sense. We're kind of like in tune.
There you
But
go. There you go. It's nice to find somebody that you sing with and you can kind of click with. Like there's some people, you can have people with really great voices and you put them together and you're just like, we're basically fighting each other throughout it. But then there's other people you get together and you sing with, you're like, oh my goodness, we were made to sing together. Is that kind of the way you felt with that?
Yeah, I think it also came over time.
Okay.
Because
Oh, yeah.
in the beginning, we're kind of doing our own thing. I used to, sing really loud and belty and whatever. And she was always really like quiet.
Yeah.
And then I think after a while, it kind of, our voices kind of were seasoned together and blend a lot better.
Okay.
It was kind of just a lot of practice and rehearsing like every single
Wow.
day.
Oh, yeah.
And when we weren't rehearsing, we were at Baskin Robbins.
How old were you guys at You didn't rehearse at Baskin Robbins. How old were you at this time? when you guys decided that let's sing together and do something outside of the musical theater?
Around like 13,
13?
14.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
14.
Was there any band or was there any sort of group that kind of inspired you, like that you guys? Because I know, I did theater, and I told you guys that I'd done musical theater in the past, and so I was always inspired by people on stage in the show and that sort of thing. But was there, when it comes to like actually doing live music and kind of more of a concert, venue, I guess, is there anybody that you look at and say, just love their music, I'd love to be them, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, I personally, I had never thought of starting a band when Buffy initially approached me, so I wasn't necessarily inspired by anyone to begin the band, but I think throughout the process, we were really inspired by people like Elise Tro. Who else?
Elise Tro, by the way, she's a musician and she loops all of her instruments, so she plays every single one.
Wow.
She's a
That's
great
cool.
drummer. She plays
Yeah.
bass, guitar, piano, and amazing singer.
So that kind of inspired you guys too.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, we actually saw her perform
We
in
did, yeah.
Berkeley, I think.
Nice.
Somewhere, yeah.
But she's amazing.
That's awesome.
We also cover a lot of Kelsey Ballerini songs,
Okay.
more like country pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a genre too that, what would you call your genre that you do? Is there a genre that you fit into?
I would say it's a medley of genres. We've
Okay,
never been able
okay.
to just pinpoint
Yeah.
what we sound like. We cover a lot of songs, country, pop, indie, alternative.
Okay.
We
just
cover
everything.
Fleetwood Mac, The Smiths,
Okay.
like a lot of artists.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. So when you so I have a couple questions now. Like all these questions popping into my head. So a couple things. Is there anything specific? Like, do you guys just show up and say, "I heard this song. I really want to do it. I've always wanted to do this song," because you're choosing from so many different other bands and other places. How do you guys pick what you're going to do?
I would say it's a collaborative process. Yeah, either Buffy or I or Buffy's dad, who helps us a lot with our songs. One of us will suggest a song, and then we all kind of try to work it out and create a backing track, which Buffy's dad does. And he's very talented.
Okay.
Yeah, he with a drum machine creates all of our bass and drum tracks.
Wow.
And yeah, he's incredible.
I was going to ask you that because it's just the two of you in
Yeah.
a band, but then when I've listened to some of the stuff you've done, there's been a lot more instruments. I didn't know if you guys
Yeah.
had a band that you hire or how that happened. So you guys have your dad,
Yeah.
Buffy, your dad is involved in that.
Yeah, he creates all those tracks. He's amazing.
Wow.
He stays up super late with his headphones, creating them until they're
That's super cool.
perfect. But it helps. We also both play a lot of instruments.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we've picked up a lot over the years, just for the band too. Ellie learned how to play the harmonica.
Do you play in any of the songs that you do?
Yeah, we cover
Love Me Do.
Love Me Do by the
Oh,
Beatles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I learned it for that song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what instruments do you guys play? I know you play guitar. I mean, that's the easy one, right?
Yeah. Guitar, piano. I play cello. Well, I did play cello.
Okay.
Classically. We used to play ukulele a lot. Not really much anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been playing piano for 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I picked up the guitar, which Buffy's dad actually helped me a lot with learning the guitar, to be
Nice.
completely honest. I took drum lessons for a bit, the ukulele, harmonica. I think I borrowed Buffy's dad's tenor guitar one time too.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, I hope you're enjoying this conversation. We'll hear the rest of it in just a minute. Before we do that, I want to tell you about Dale Hardware. Dale Hardware has been helping people make Fremont their home for over 65 years. They're doing that right now for you today, and they will be doing that for generations to come. Well, let me tell you about a special event that they have coming out that they want you to know about. Dale Hardware is throwing a party. That's right. On August 6th, Dale Hardware is throwing a big party because they want to tell you about a new display that they have in their store. Dale Hardware has the largest display of Milwaukee tools in any retail establishment anywhere in the United States. It's right here in Fremont. And they're having the big grand opening and inviting you to the party. On August 6th, they will be having vendors, they'll have giveaways, they'll have special treats. They're even launching their new Dale Kids Club. So if you have kids, you'll want to bring them with you. So Mark it on your calendar, August 6th. Big party at Dale Hardware. It's for you, it's for your friends, it's for your neighbors, it's for your kids, it's for the whole family. Come on out August 6th and celebrate with Dale Hardware as they help you make Fremont your home. Now, back to our conversation. So now when it comes to the music that you're doing now, like you've done a lot of covers, there's probably some music that you don't do anymore that you used to do. And there's music that they kind of have a regular set list now that you probably do. Where are you performing, or what are some of the places that that people can see you, or where have they been able to see you around Fremont or around the area?
Yeah, we've performed a lot around Fremont at Slapface Coffee and Tea, which I don't know if they're still open.
They're not open anymore.
Yeah.
So sad. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Factory Tea Bar, same story, also not open anymore.
Man.
We actually had a sponsorship with them, which was really awesome.
Who was that with?
Great.
Factory Tea Bar.
Oh, and
It's a
they
boba shop.
don't.
Yeah, because they did like open mics and
Yeah, they were really helpful with like furthering our audience. They helped us get a gig at the Boba Festival.
Yeah,
in Santa
years
Clara.
ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how far do you go? I mean, you've done Slapface was in Fremont, and I think my friend sent me the video of you guys. You were at an Italian restaurant or something.
Oh, Massimo's.
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 Yeah, right.
And that's in Fremont. How far have you gone? Like, where else have you done your gigs?
In San Francisco, we played in Ghirardelli Square,
Oh, wow.
Noe
Nice.
Valley in
Right.
San Francisco, Santana Row. We've played, we traveled down in this big bus with both of our families to Pasadena, and we
Wow.
auditioned for America's Got Talent.
Did you really?
That was so much fun.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it was
Were you on
amazing.
TV then too?
No, we weren't.
No, no, no.
So tell me about that experience. Well, how did that go?
Well, we always wanted to audition for
Yeah.
like these reality TV shows. So we decided one day, okay, after school, we're gonna just drive down for the weekend. We went to Universal Studios down there.
So wait a minute, hold on. You said you just decided after school, but then you said you had a whole bus as well.
Well,
so
it wasn't a bus.
It was like a big van.
really big
Okay,
van.
okay.
But we had to bring like our instruments,
Oh,
and
right,
we even threw
yeah.
our sisters in the act. We both have
yeah.
younger sisters.
wow,
Yeah, they were-
nice.
And then both sets of parents went.
Okay.
And we just drove all the way down there. We waited. Well, that night we went to sleep, and then the next day went to the audition. Huge long line, of
Oh yeah,
course.
like
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
And this is America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
America's
okay.
Got Talent.
How old were you guys?
14 or 15.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
like
okay.
14, 15.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
We weren't very good, to be honest.
We were not very good, but it was such a fun
It
experience.
was.
it? Yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
So who did you see? Like, yeah, I've always wondered this. So like, you get there, you're in a long line.
Yeah.
What happens when they call your name? Like, what does that look like?
So there are very many long lines.
Okay.
We waited there for maybe like 3-4 hours. If
Probably
not-
more.
Probably more, yeah. It was a whole day thing. And then you go into a room with like 10 other acts. And there's normally 1 to 3 producers. And they kind of listen to your act and then say, okay, great, let you out of a room, and then never contact you again.
Yeah, there's a lot of rounds
Okay.
of like,
Okay.
I guess callbacks, you
Yeah.
could say. And you never see those like celebrity judges
Right.
until it's like you're being filmed.
Exactly.
So,
Oh, so you guys didn't see any of the?
No.
no.
Ah.
But we've also auditioned for like a ton of other shows,
Yeah.
kind of like as separate acts.
Okay.
We did in person. We went to American Idol, which
Okay.
was really
Yeah.
fun.
Nice.
That took a long time as
Oh,
well.
yeah?
A really
Where
long time.
You
I was there all day.
Yeah.
I was there since like 9 a.m. and then Buffy showed up at like 4
I
p.m.
went
and just went in
after
right
school.
away.
I
Of
went
course,
after school,
of course,
and I
because she
literally
got the role in the
Yeah,
first 3 auditions, and she can just walk
exactly.
in and
No.
be.
I went after school, and I was like not expecting to see Ellie, and I see her in line, and I'm basically like 5
She's
people
sweating.
behind her.
She's
Yeah, I had been there all
exhausting.
day
And I
long.
saw her audition. I was like, Ellie, you were there in the morning. How are you auditioning now?
It was
Wow.
a very long
But-
line.
And that was for America's Got Talent, or that was
American
for
Idol.
American Idol.
Yeah.
And then we did The Voice separately
Voice,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I currently have a callback that I'm working on with The Voice, but I don't think that's going anywhere. It's been a week since the last email.
Okay.
We did get called back for America's Got Talent.
Yes.
But it wasn't when we went in person.
Okay.
We filmed a video and submitted, and a producer kind of contacted
I got you.
us.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the kinds of things that I think a lot of musicians or aspiring musicians would love to have that experience and be able to do. That's really, really cool.
It's really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys do a lot of covers. We talked about. Do you have original music that you sing?
Yeah, we have a single out called To the Moon. We've been performing that for a while. It's been out since 2020.
Okay. And who wrote that?
I wrote that, but Buffy's dad helped a lot with our backing track for that one as well. Okay. And we recorded that at Stoneman Studios in Milpitas.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then we performed 2 other songs.
Okay. That's great.
One is called Sugar, and the other one is called Slow Drive, like SLO, like San Luis Obispo.
That's awesome.
Because we go to Pismo. Pismo Beach is like
your place.
My place.
That's awesome.
And we went there kind of around Thanksgiving, my birthday-ish. And that was super fun.
Very
fun.
Very cool. So the originals, do you have those where do you have those recorded? Are those studio recorded, or do you have where can people hear them?
So To the Moon is out on everything. It's studio recorded. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes.
And you can search Audio Blonde, and that's how you can find that song. Okay.
If you search just To the Moon, I think you'll probably find Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. So I think your best bet is searching
We're competing
Audio
a little bit with him, but it's
I know.
Yeah,
He's
just a
dead.
little.
Oh, how's that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But our other songs, we've just been performing so far, but I think we might record them soon.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you're waiting on for that, or?
Just
Time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Yeah. You're busy. School? Anything else that you're busy with these days?
Well, right now we're actually in a show at Starstruck Theater.
Wait a minute, and you're in a show right now? And who got one of the lead roles in this?
It was me.
Ellie got
what
a lead
shock.
Buffy, do you have a lead role in this?
I don't. I'm in the ensemble, but it is equally as fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so what show is this? What show are you in?
This is Les Mis.
Les
Les
Mis.
Miserables.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say it like the French.
And this is
Yeah.
with Starstruck as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. And you're playing Fantine.
I am.
All right.
yes.
It's a beautiful, beautiful part. It's really great.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So Ellie, you're Fantine, and Buffy, you're in the ensemble.
I am.
So what's that look like for you guys right now? You're very busy. What kind of a schedule is that for you?
Well, we actually are almost done with our rehearsal process. So far, it's been Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. For like 3 to 5 hours a day. But we're about to start Tech Week.
Okay.
So that's every
every
day
day.
for like
Yes.
5
Yeah.
to 6 hours.
Yeah. Wow. So when does it open? When is the...
I think our opening is July 29th.
I think
One
so.
of
Yeah.
those days.
I think
Last
it's-
weekend of
And
July.
then how many nights is it open, or how many nights is it showing?
We
Do you
have
know?
2 weekends. The first weekend is Friday to Sunday, and the second weekend is Wednesday to Sunday.
Okay. Wow. You
Yeah.
guys excited?
Very.
Yeah. So I'm curious then. I mean, I told you, I think before we started recording, that Les Mis is my favorite. It's my ultimate show. Do you guys have a favorite? Is this your favorite, or do you have a show that you've been in previously that you look back and say that was my favorite show?
You can go first.
Buffy.
Les Mis is obviously a beautiful show.
Sure.
But I think the lack of dancing and
yeah.
big full group
Yeah.
dance numbers kind of drops it from the top. My favorite show that I've been in, I don't know. Ellie, go ahead. I don't know. Not that I've been in, but my favorite show to watch is
Yeah.
Miss Saigon.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
Lea
great.
Salonga is
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, well, Les Mis, Fantine actually was my dream role.
Was
for
it?
Basically my entire life.
Wow,
Yeah, so
that's
now that
awesome. And I Dream to
yeah.
Dream is such a beautiful, and then where they add her in at the end with all, it is a beautiful. Great.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But,
So Fantine, but yeah, what else?
Now that I'm playing her, my new dream role is Reno Sweeney in Anything Goes.
Okay.
Yeah, but my favorite musicals are Miss Saigon, like Buffy, and also Book of Mormon. It's very funny.
Okay. So you guys are, you guys are both in college, and if I understand correctly, you're going to be like graduating from Starstruck soon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You guys are probably hit your limit there, because I wanted to be in Les Mis and be Javert, but they said I was too old. I don't know why a 40-something man would not, work in a junior production. But,
Of course. School edition.
yeah. So are you guys looking at doing any other any shows in the future outside of Starstruck?
Yeah, at Sonoma State, I did my first opera, actually, which was super
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be doing an opera, but then my inner soprano totally came out. I did The Pirates of Penzance.
Oh, I love that.
Super funny.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
Yeah, and that was just so awesome. It's like I didn't even have an ensemble part. Like I had a kind of a featured supporting role, and it was a whole nother level, though. Just the level of commitment and I guess being very detailed in every choice that you make on stage. It was a lot different than what I'm used to, but a great learning experience.
Okay. What about you, Ellie?
I don't actually plan on doing theater in the future. I mean, other than like if Starstruck wants me back when I'm older. I mean, I've only ever done Starstruck pretty much.
Yeah.
That's been my entire life. So I haven't really thought about venturing out and even doing like school theater in Davis. We'll see.
That's awesome. Very cool. So is Audio Blonde going to continue? I mean, you guys are doing a lot. You're very busy. You're both in college. I mean, is this the end, or is there more coming, or what is the future for Audio Blonde?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get our stuff together and we can perform a lot. Summer is usually our time to really perform. So hopefully next summer we'll get it together and really do back-to-back shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we probably won't be doing Starstruck.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What kind of venues do you guys look for? Like if what is it that is there a venue that I know you mentioned the Tea Company, you mentioned Slapface, both of which are not existing anymore.
Yeah.
Is there kind of venues that you enjoy or that you're looking for when you guys perform?
One venue that also isn't here anymore was in the downtown Fremont area. KTVU did a zip trips on Fremont, and we got to play for that.
That was
and we were
awesome.
on the news, and it was super awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was such a crazy experience.
Oh, yeah.
It was super fun. But outdoor places are kind of where we usually thrive, like farmers markets. Outdoor malls, because we can be loud. We love a loud setup. We like to just turn up that volume all the way.
Nice.
But
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites that you enjoy?
I
Ellie?
love outdoors, of course.
Okay.
But I also really like indoor coffee shops, just like sometimes for an acoustic, quiet set. Those are fun too.
That's awesome. Well, I think that I'm excited. I know that the summer opportunities are coming to an end because you're in Starstruck and then going back to college and all that. But I hope that we get to see and hear more of you guys around Fremont. I want to hear you in person. I haven't heard you in person. I actually thought about having you guys bring your guitar and set up here so I could have my own private show. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys, and I hope that Fremont gets to hear more of you guys, and
Thank you.
Wherever else music takes you. And you guys wanted to give a plug for Starstruck, right? So
Yes.
The show Les Miserables is going to be coming to town in the next couple of weeks. So they can come out and see you guys in Les Mis.
Yeah.
Come watch. We'll autograph your
Yeah.
playbills for you.
There you go. There you go. Well,
Future stars.
Do you guys anticipate staying in Fremont long term, or you guys think you'll be chasing a career somewhere else?
I don't plan on staying in the Bay Area, honestly.
Okay.
I'm thinking more East Coast for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there any place you visited or that you've been that stands out?
Well, I've always dreamt of living in Maine. I've never been to Maine.
Wow.
I know that's so random. But
It's beautiful.
I've
Maine
always
is awesome.
wanted to live in Maine.
Yeah.
I also really like New York, of course,
Yeah,
and
obviously.
Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maine is close to New York, so if you want to
is,
live
yeah.
in Maine and visit New York, you
That's
can
what
do
I'm
that,
thinking.
So there you go.
I don't want to be in the snow. I want to be by the beach.
There you go.
Where it's warm
Yeah.
all the time.
Maybe Pismo?
Yeah, maybe Pismo.
Maybe
We'll see.
Pismo.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
very
If I have
cool.
money and stuff.
Someday.
That's
Someday.
awesome.
And I'm a doctor.
Well, girls, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This was a
Yeah.
great conversation.
Thank
and
you.
you guys give us something to look forward to. Hopefully hearing you next summer, and also coming out and seeing you guys at Les Mis.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That's great.
You've been listening to the Fremont Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever it is that you listen so you don't miss an episode. And if you're so inclined, leave a kind review so that others can find the podcast. To stay connected with us, you can find links to our social media and other content at thefremontpodcast.com. This episode was hosted, edited, and produced by Ricky B. Music provided through Soundstripe.com. I'm Gary Williams. Join us next week on the Fremont Podcast.
Muggins Media.